Mr. Brighton. Yes, hello. My name is Anderson. I'm calling you from New York City. I have a rather, it may not be an unusual problem to you, but I'll come right to the point. Would you be at all interested in harboring the thought of piloting a transatlantic balloon flight? All right, then I'll continue talking. If you said no, why, that wouldn't make much sense of us continuing to talk.
September 21st, 1970. The Free Life disappeared over the North Atlantic. In the subsequent search, no trace of the balloon was ever found.
It was an incredibly fantastic project, and I think the beauty of the project was that it was not complicated by all sorts of complex things. I mean, they were doing it pure and simple. It was there to be done, and they were doing it, and it was a new and different and exciting thing to be done. The enthusiasm they had for it was so fantastic because it was a project that just suited Pam and Rod perfectly.
I'll never forget the day that Rod told me that he had this friend. The first thing he did is he threw out some maps, and he said, "What do you think those things are?" And there were little squiggly lines going across these pieces of paper that said Atlantic Ocean on it. And I said, "I have no idea." And he said, "Well, those are air currents. What would you think about a balloon going across the Atlantic Ocean?" And I'd never even read about balloons that I can remember. I must have read, 1,000 times about different balloon ventures from that time till now. And I said, "I just think this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of."
I walked into Abercrombie's one day hoping that they might be able to supply us with a sleeping bag and maybe some flares and some things. And the management said that they were delighted to go through the store and make a list. And for a man to be let loose in Abercrombie's, go ahead and make a list. It's kind of a wild way out experience.
And until the point where we came to East Hampton, with a few exceptions, almost everything was against us, until we had no more resources, we had no more money. There was no place, that we could go from that point on. And then it was just like, all these people started saying, "Well, I'll do this for you and I'll do that for you." And all summer long, they've been consistent. It really renews your faith in humanity, because for most of these people, their pleasure, their reward, is doing what they're doing.
Right. Beautiful. Could you give me a heads up tomorrow morning by 8?
Okay, I guess that's it. This back, we don't need this.
Johnson soap.
Everything's gonna be tight. That's the main thing.
That tighten that up now. You don't need to lock it.
Well,
Yeah, he wants to put a piece of
We're gonna put some on it.
Cat's getting it, so
Keep
use
it
it after
vibrating.
it comes back, really, so after you brought it.
How is this now? You reach in there and grab that valve?
Yeah, but this is upside down right now.
Right.
Well, look, you're moving this a little heavy here on this, maybe, on this portion. You'll
Yeah,
break
but
that.
it's probably easier to do that than it would be to set this down. How long is that hose, bud? You remember tomorrow you have to pick up another piece, too?
Yeah, increase it, and we put it out, and we decrease it. But
Cat, you have
we have to maintain our pressure on our gauge. On this connection here. There's a bad valve.
Are we going
Yeah,
to
me and Gil.
cut these
What
straps
else,
off?
Gil?
Cut these straps off here, completely out of the way.
You got tension now?
Don't cut that. I know it, but he ain't gonna cut them sheep up for me. Uh-oh, put it back.
See, you lost it now.
This one would not tighten up in the first place,
All
so
right,
that's,
well-
unless you have another clamp for it.
I got no clamp. We got a screwdriver, though.
Yeah,
Get that screwdriver.
It won't tighten.
Yes, how it won't tighten.
It won't tighten anymore, though.
Watch your language.
Watch your way with me, come on.
Hang on. Got it?
I got it.
Look at the biggest.
Becky, you sweating, boy?
Hot lights here.
What are you doing there, bud?
It's a free life, not the hot life.
We had to change the whole pilot.
The pilot was too small?
No, Malcolm didn't like it.
Have to fill 5 gallons plastic or collapsible containers with water.
we must make sure that no air whatever remains in the container, because as they go up with altitude, the air pressure decreases and the plastic container may break. So we have to fill this up completely with water and exclude all air.
What we have to do is meet at 10 o'clock in the morning. On the agenda, we'll be taking the gondola to the field. After that, we sort of play it by ear with Malcolm, which means laying out the balloons, keeping everything dry. We'll lay this kind of cloth over everything, put one balloon inside the other. By evening, it'll clear up. Tomorrow night is predicted by the university to be quiet, no wind all night.
No.
So we'll be inflated, and we'll have it guarded all night. We'll try to get some sleep and get up.
Very
Up the
little
balloon,
sleep. Very little sleep.
But now tomorrow, keep in mind, tomorrow is a rainy day.
Right.
So wear rainy day clothes. A lot of our work will be outside, you know, running around rain, and don't want anybody go, you know, into the living room and pick up equipment and stuff to move. Now it's all going to be carefully controlled by Pam and Malcolm and I. So we'll handle all that. If we need assistance doing something, you know, we'll say so. Don't pick up things and do anything. In other words,
No one in the house.
no chiefs in the crowd.
Out the bottom so hard, Malcolm.
You have to change that jet again, Malcolm.
Something got to change.
You have to change that jet and put it up there.
Hello, Gil.
How you doing, buddy?
Too much heat going down, Malcolm.
Hey?
Too much heat going down.
There is a bit, yeah, but
Yeah, but
change the jet
cut it
again like
off.
we did before. We'll make it, get the heat up. We won't blow it down, remember? That's all we did last time. Yeah, sure, but all we did was bend the jet up. Yeah, well, that's all we have to do there, right? Yeah, same thing, sure. Buddy, have you got some pliers?
I gotta go. Yeah, well, that's hot.
Okay, Gil. You know it's Sunday.
How's the pilot? Stay there, right?
It's Sunday.
Hey, yes, the pilot's
The pilot stay lit? Yeah. You ought to have a little more on that.
Hey,
What do you got on there?
we get a little more.
Uncle Buddy? You ought to turn that in.
What do you got? Pair of pliers.
Yeah, all right.
Just want to bend up that jet.
Uncle Buddy, did you make any adjustment on the bottom of that?
Let me see.
You went out before, Malcolm, the pilot?
No, it's all right.
Listen.
Are you getting too much flame and not enough blue?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No, you can
They've never done it
eliminate
before.
a lot of that.
They will. Oh, the son of a bitch is raining again. Shh. Watch it. Pilot's out.
Out, buddy. You're going to be out.
Yeah, your pilot's out.
Yeah, I think I'll better hold it.
It's
Did you burn yourself?
No.
Hit his head, though. Huh?
This is tubing is still. Hold on. Got a plaster. Wait a minute.
Dick, what was your best experience with the balloon?
Well, the takeoff, no doubt about that. It's the result of everybody pitching in, and even though they've never seen a balloon, to be able to get her off the ground after everybody said that it couldn't be done, we weren't capable of doing it.
And what was your worst experience?
Well, hearing the report that they were possibly ditched down near the ocean.
No, the whole thing goes up together.
Okay.
Push it back all the way around.
Okay.
All the way around.
Ready? One. Okay.
Yeah. No, we got to take it all up to one here. We don't.
Strength, Irwin, you got to get behind the radios. You and Gil over there, that's good. Because this is easy.
The move.
Okay.
Are we ready? Totally just squashing me. Got it. Okay.
All right, just set it right down on this thing.
There.
All right.
Do we set it yet?
Yeah, set it.
Okay. Now what are we going to do with it? Coach punt?
Oh, man, you guys move it.
Are we coming to you?
Mr. Brighton, well, I'll tell you how far we've gotten with our project. The monies that we have spent so far over the last 4 years on the project totals almost $90,000. We are fully developed in the program, ready to take off any day. My reason for calling you now is that the pilot that we had here has just had a sort of nervous breakdown, and we're out of a pilot. So I've run into the problem of trying to find another pilot. Now, as you probably know, in this country, we don't have very many experienced gas balloonists. Those that do have experience are quite a bit older. So here I am, calling you for your consideration.
Okay, what are we doing, Rod? Straight ahead? Hit it. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Don't move it. God darn it. Just leave it like that. Just balance it. Is it balanced?
Yeah, I got most of it.
Now, you understand what's happening. Don't you guys lift on this side, just slightly. We're doing all the lifting on that side. That whole end is going all the way up.
What's going on? Hold it.
What's pushing?
Tell people to
Hey, Rod.
Yeah?
What's happening now?
We're going to lift it up.
Are we ready to lift it up? Or
If
go in
everybody
further?
just be quiet and listen to what I tell you, we'll get this up there.
Okay, Rod, speak.
You guys down at Gillside,
Yeah.
all you're doing is just balancing this.
Okay, just get
I mean, don't lift and push or go anywhere. Just wherever the other end goes, just kind of guide it to wherever the other end goes.
Just keep the bottom off of this top.
Right.
Mr. Brighton, what did you think of this project when Rod first proposed it?
Well, I'm extremely interested. I've been interested in the Atlantic crossing for a long time, but I've lacked sponsorship. And here was an opportunity to take it up immediately.
As a matter of fact, I might indicate that we are both a hot air balloon and a helium balloon. We have an outer balloon which is made out of balloon cloth, and the inner balloon is the helium gas balloon. We're all prepared for takeoff right at the launch site, which is on Long Island.
Okay.
So how did you react when he phoned you?
Of course, I said I was interested, and came over immediately to look it over.
And how long did it take you to decide?
7 days, with no pressure from them at all.
Malcolm, can you get on the
We had
inside?
planned to fly at an altitude between 6,000 and 10,000 feet. Now, over the past 10 years, the average speed at those altitudes is about 20 knots, and during the month of August. And so, given that, we would undoubtedly be out there for a week or so.
You have a company which builds balloons. What do you think of this balloon?
Obviously, I'm prejudiced because I'm a balloon builder. I think I could have done better, but at this stage, here and now, inflated and ready to go, I feel optimistic.
As you know, the early fall season, late August through the month of September and so forth, is tropical storm time. And the more into September we get, the more danger there is in terms of storms. However, the university suggests that we needn't be concerned with that to a great extent, because they feel they can program us, as it were, between storms, if that makes any sense. In other words, we would not launch unless conditions were absolutely perfect for the flight, and which would include the storm possibilities would be down to nil.
Where do you want to come down?
Anywhere on land.
Right, down yet? No, we gotta go forward.
All right, forward.
Forward. There it is. Forward.
All right, down, forward.
Up on that and forward, yeah. There you go. Down. Going down now.
Watch it now.
Going down. Okay, we're settled. Will somebody get off me? Rod. I was pushing your butt. You wouldn't let me go anywhere, so I just couldn't get ahead. Okay, we're up there.
Anderson came out and he said he was looking for a place to launch a balloon. It had been all over. And this seemed ideal. There was no obstructions between here and the water.
Ready?
Yep.
Gotta go apart. Hold it now, fellas. I gotta get out of this crap in here.
Okay.
All right, here comes this ladder.
Okay, I got it.
Doug, I'm bringing the ladder to you.
Okay.
Gotta lift that right over there. Okay.
I think I get up underneath.
What are we doing on the other side?
Hold it 1 second.
Hold it.
Yeah, why don't you get out from under there?
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody
Now,
under
set
it.
your end down on the opposite of me. Okay, down on this side. All the way. Go all right.
Turn. You'll never make it.
Malcolm, I don't think that's necessary. Do you? To lay out a ground cloth? Our outer and inner balloon are actually a sort of ground cloth, eh?
Yeah.
I tell you what, though. Let's all make a line and just walk out in the direction. Everybody line up in front of this, in front of here. All right, spread out from Mom's truck
What about the horse?
out here to me.
Don't worry about the horse.
And we'll walk this way. If you see nails or any
What happens if
in a line! In a line from me to the station wagon. Okay. Now, I think what we ought to do is just walk straight on, and if you see anything that's going to wreck the balloon, pick it up.
Road apples won't hurt us, huh?
Yeah.
Gondola must stay exactly where it is. This is where we want it to be for the takeoff, if possible. So the balloon is going to be laid out down this way. Now, first of all cars, etc., must be back behind the helium lorries. So whoever's U-Haul that is, and that Saab, and this crappy old Pontiac here has got to be moved.
Don't knock it.
So right, then we get the outer envelope. This is the coloured one, you know, the beautiful one.
The one we've been inflating out here
That's
since
pretty.
few
That's
years.
it. Then we'll lay that out straight downwind, from the gondola straight downwind. Then open the thing out into more or less a circle, and then we'll feed the inner envelope up inside it in a long snake. And then we will sort that out into also a more or less flat thing. But there'll be lots of wrinkles and creases and everything else amongst it.
Poles. How are you going to say we're going to use the poles?
Then we go again with the liner up inside that. And we get that stretched out.
We got to go the liner from the front, from the top down, right?
We can do it either way.
So how are you going to get up to the appendix?
It's possible. You can walk up the appendix with no trouble.
It's only this big.
It's that diameter, isn't it?
I can walk up the appendix. I guarantee it. So we then get that one
Did you
inside.
cut the appendix
Now, the
then?
important thing about the liner is that we don't want to get any air in the liner. We don't mind how much air we get in the other two. We can lift them up and get wind inside them. We can do what we like.
We want air in there, right?
The liner must not have any air inside. At the moment, it's a beautiful, flat, evacuated sausage. We want to keep it like that. Okay? So that will be very important. But that's the sort of a general picture, and we get all three, one inside the other.
The shoes to be off
stretched out.
walking in it, right?
If you go anywhere on the balloon or in the balloon, shoes off.
Please, could I have your attention, right? Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to slide the inner balloon into the outer balloon, and then we're going to put the plastic liner inside of it. Now, this was easy, you know. It was easy for him because he seemed to know what he was talking about. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. And he didn't ask anyone to do anything, he didn't tell anybody to do anything. Everybody just fell in and away he went.
Right in the tower.
All right. You're right. You're right a bit. That's good.
Okay, let's go. And I'll check on my car.
I've certainly learnt my lesson with organisers and managers and things like that. You know, I won't let anybody push me into something that I think is dangerous. I don't care if they consider me a coward. If they do, then that's their fault. I think I know more about it than they do usually, and I'll stick by my judgment. Now, you know, I've become sort of independent and old enough, I suppose, to be able to assert myself and say, no, I don't care about your film, I'm not going.
Okay, just take that and take it now. Just take it. Okay. That's about it, right?
You're not pulling it away from me, you're pulling that way. This way, just pull it out. Not away from me. I want this back here. That's it. That's it. I just want it to spread into a curve, like that. That's beautiful.
All right, this is about how far it is.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Right.
Just leave it there.
Warren, you want to bring the sandbags?
Well, I think it's really wonderful so far, but if you make it over to England, well, it will be a marvellous achievement. Probably get a knighthood or something like that.
A knighthood? But Malcolm, do you know Malcolm? The pilot?
I have met him, yes. He comes from my country.
Right, I detect a slight English accent.
Yes, oh yes.
Are you a resident of East Hampton?
No, I live in England.
You live in England?
I'm just on vacation with Mrs. Sushanek, my niece.
Oh, I see.
Think you're gonna
make it?
Well, I fervently hope so, yes. That's my one wish.
So it seems like they didn't even give themselves a half a chance, because if that balloon came down fast, it was 100 feet high, I think I read. If it came down fast right on top of that gondola, it would have covered it like a blanket. They wouldn't have had a chance of getting out, of even getting out from under it. They would be just trapped underneath it. And with 15 and 25-foot waves, as I understand they had, it would have been terrible. I mean, it would have been a nightmare. I can just picture it. I've been out on the water in some pretty bad storms, and I wouldn't want to be in one of those for anything. When I saw it come over, I said to my, I said, honey, look, up there. I said, there's a piece of history. I said, they're not going to make it. She said, oh, don't say that. I said, say a prayer for them. I really meant it. No, do it here. That's right.
Here, we need help here.
You're just going to lay that flat. If you get any twists in the envelope anywhere, we'll just have to come in and turn the whole thing from the end. Right. I think we'll find it.
Want to keep working out to the side?
Yeah, keep it going out as far as you can.
Watch the fingernails?
Yeah. Now, somebody has got to work down the outside.
Yeah. Can I stand up? That's right, easier. Come on. Oh, boy. No, you're not supposed to. No. Wait a minute, maybe don't. How we coming, Dougie?
When the balloons died up, I think it was a bag of sand here. They dropped one. They dropped one, I think, didn't they, Captain?
Yes, they did.
And Junior, that's it, Junior, that's my son, poured some sand and just on this spot where the balloon started. And then 3 or 4 days ago, this Victor, what's his name, Cap? Suit.
Right there.
Suchek. No, Suchanek, that's the guy. He said he worked here quite a bit with Anderson, and he wanted to know if he could put some monument here or a stake. And if you put a stake there, I don't mean a thing, it'll soon run down. I have a road monument, a little concrete monument. You can notice I have one of those. It's 3 or 4 inches square. I stayed in there.
What do you think they are now? Do you think they came down, or do you think they're still on their way?
Oh, I think that they're gone. You know, if you hit a storm in the ocean, those waves are powerful and terrible. I stood on the banks up in East Hampton on a cliff during the 38 hurricane and saw a chimney, a 4-section chimney. They said weighed 10 tons. Went up, jumped around in the surf just like as if it was a cork. And when this balloon hit the water, it must have been going X number of miles an hour. Even if it just lit there, geez, the breaker would go over it. You say, sure, a cork will float. You throw one in the water and a wave will hit it, gee, it goes out of sight.
Okay, you're loud and clear. From Pan American, they advise that you are on the fringe of a cold front. You're on the fringe of a cold front, extending roughly from 60 west to 40 west, and moving south. The north of the fringe area of the cold front is about 45 degrees north. I read you. Please go on. Say again? Would you say again off 30 degrees west? Okay. Okay, the cold front extends from about 60 to 40 degrees west and moving south. The north fringe area of the cold front is about 4 or 5 degrees north, 45 north, New York. Thank you, I read you. Standing by. New York.
We can use this for balance. Here, Pam, you can have your bubble gum back.
Thank you. And I'm the cook. Here I am, the biggest feminist in the world, and what do I end up doing but being a cook and housekeeper?
Andy? Yes? We heard you were the last one who had a turn on the balloon. How'd that feel?
Well, it felt great. It felt like I was part of something. Really enjoyed it. Fantastic. I got real excited, you know, seeing it.
Why did you do it in the first place?
Well, how I got involved was that Gil Foster stopped by, and he wanted to get something to patch the balloon, the fiberglass, and I was instrumental in getting him the resin repair kit that they use for Corvette bodies, and he used that, and then I went down and took a look at it. It was a great idea, kind of a fantastic thing, so I just wanted to be part of it.
Well, we have installed a valve in the balloon. Of course, that was a great operation to hook up the valve. We've covered up the radio equipment with canvases. We've kept it out of the rain, out of the weather several times. I mean, during emergencies, the storms and so forth. I don't know, just about everything. We have supplied all of the food for the balloon. My wife and I from Barnes Country Store have supplied all the food, except the emergency rations. And the emergency rations were supplied by other companies. We have helped on today fill the water jugs and the gasoline and just, you know, supply just about all the stuff we could give them, that's all.
How about the ones on this side?
Is there more on that side?
No, there are.
No, that has to come on. Let's see, just put that over there.
Sure, how would you like to put the valve on?
Let's see, these are, oh, heck, you know what I didn't do?
What?
I didn't put the propane tanks in these bags. Beautiful. Nope, not quite. Too much.
Just want to stop the belts.
She's light now, that's good.
Okay, baby. One more bag. Wait a minute. Put a handful in there for the
Well, Joe, tell us some of the jobs you've been doing up to this point.
Here, all
Ever
right.
since you met, you've been involved with the project.
I've been doing all kinds of odds and ends. I've been filling collapsible water cans with water. I've been putting stamps on envelopes. But the most important job is working on celestial navigation. They received some invaluable equipment from Abercrombie and Fitch for that purpose. They received a sextant with which they practiced under my supervision to make sights of the heavenly bodies. Anything there? Nothing?
No.
Neither way, huh?
You got something. It was slight. Give me 12 volts for reference on the meter.
Our communication system is rather, well, it's not unique, but it is very complex and extremely fine. We have 2 VHF radios, an HF radio, a Loran set, which is a navigational radio that would give us our position within a mile. Then we're linked in with all of the major transatlantic air carriers, and we communicate with them through what aeronautical radio company calls a buddy system.
It was a very technical event, I mean, and the way of people helping doing things. Like one fellow was making some shells in the gondola. Is that the right name for it? And it was as if he was making them in a little coffee pot, you know, where you put the dishes. And I don't mean it was amateurish, but the combination of the very technical possibilities of it, and then the workings of the people giving the helping hand. That was fascinating.
How did you feel when you were touching that balloon?
Well, it was great. It was fantastic. Like I said, I got involved because they asked me for a kit to repair the gondola. And after I got the kit from them, I went down and had a look, and I really got excited and really pitched right in. And that's how I become a part of it.
Did you believe in them?
I really did. In fact, after it was in the air, I'd almost wished that I went along with them. It just took off. Well, my contract read that I kept 1 foot on the ground.
Where are you going to be on now, Andy?
Beg pardon?
Where are you going to be on now?
Well, hopefully somewhere safe. It's the hopes of me and everybody associated with the balloon, more or less, more of the people that knew them, and then they just hope that they're really safe. And I, for one, sincerely pray and hope that they are.
Hold it right there. Okay?
No, not this way, Dewey. Out this way.
There you go. Keep it straight.
Keep it going. Doug, there's some gas coming through.
November 2079 Gander. I read you, Gander. Please go ahead. Okay, from Meteor Gander. Rain showers in the vicinity of Delta.
Just a minute, please.
Showers could continue Delta to 25 to 30 west, to 25 to 30 west for next 24 hours, for next 24 hours at least, with heavy cumulus, wind 310 degrees and 310 and 30, and should die approximately for 24 hours.
You know what? Okay. Who down there? You sure on that? Hey, this looks good.
How's everything in there, Malcolm?
It's very good, very good. It's all beautifully laid out now.
2079 again, say again, and should be approximately the same for 24 hours, and should be approximately the same for 24 hours. Go ahead.
Ma'am?
Oh, we couldn't get it free.
Ma'am, how's everything going?
Fine.
Well, look, we're going to have to start with a new tooth.
Just great. I couldn't ask for anything better. Just pull a hole in the whole thing on top of my head.
We're moving right up to here.
I can't get my shoes on.
Wait. Do it again.
Sorry.
Sam? Okay.
So,
Where are we now?
well, we've got this liner inside, inflating. The thing is very, very slow because we've got people laid along the deflated snake inside the balloon, making a channel alongside their bodies to allow the gas to pass along to the bubble at the very top. And we're having to keep this bubble growing at the top of the balloon. And this is very slow. If we could only get it in quicker, it would be very much quicker. I think it probably take 4 hours or so now just to get that bubble sorted out inside.
We've already been working how long?
2.5 hours.
That's twice as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you just said that there was a hole in there. What is that?
Yeah, there was a hole. We don't know how it happened. Somebody must have grabbed it or done something and given it a jag, but it's just being repaired. There's no problem.
How bad's the leak, Erla? Sir?
8 inches.
What does that mean? How long is it going to take?
New York, Gander. Down in New York. I'm not wearing jumpsuits. Go ahead. They're wearing jumpsuits. And what did you say the weather's going to shower should continue for another 24 hours to 20 west?
Okay, and that's from Gander. The showers could continue delta to 25 to 30 west for the next 24 hours at least. Go ahead.
Could you give me the upper level of the cumulus, please? Over.
Understand you're requesting the upper level of the cumulus. Go ahead.
Affirmative.
November 2079 2079 again. Go ahead, please, Andrew. Okay, the top 50 heavy cameras, 18 to 20,000. 18 to 20,000. That's from the Met Office Canada. Go ahead.
Just like that, just like that.
Attaboy, Andy. Okay, let us sit right there. That ought to do. Give me that one behind you. These wouldn't run on the side of each other?
Brando, 2079, we are pitching. We are pitching. We are not yet at our exact location. Last check, 2 hours from it is approximately 100 miles west of Delta. Station Delta, over. 2079 again, say again, please. We are pitching. November 2079 is flowing into the water. We are pitching. Over. November 2079er is ditching going into the water. Go ahead. That is correct. We will have an emergency descent on 121.5. Over. We will have an emergency beacon on 121.5. Go ahead. We request search and rescue. Over. Requesting search and rescue and confirm you're approximately 100 miles west of Delta. Go ahead. Approximately 100 miles west of Station Delta. Our last line reading at 181 was 1903. Over. Okay, your last line reading at 181, 1905. That was a 22 Zulu. Over. 2200 Zulu, Roger. We are now at 600 feet and descending. Over. Now at 600 feet and descending. And now sounding off in order to go through the safest possible landing procedure. We will try and contact you on Rozière after landing. Over and out.
Well, yes. I woke one morning, I think it was last October, and looked out my bedroom windows, which directly confront the George Sid Miller's field. And instead of saying the usual occupants of the field, a beautiful palomino who was the beau of the pasture, and some other quarter horses of various colors, and 2 donkeys of whom I'm very fond, who actually say hee-haw. Instead of this cast of characters, I saw, in amongst the trees that the horses fancy, a bright orange, totally unexplained UFO.
I'm standing in the middle of a pasture in East Hampton, Long Island. Usually the pasture is reserved for the horses, although here at 5:30 in the morning, I don't see any horses around. What I do see is a balloon, 8 stories high, reaching way up into the sky. The balloon is lit by searchlights from below and backlit by the moon above. There's no pollution around here so that you can see the stars clearly. Several hundred people are waiting for the Free Life to take off for Europe, bearing 3 people: Malcolm Brighton, who will be the pilot, Rod Anderson, who financed the whole thing, and Rod's wife, Pamela. It's a beautiful day. The scene is like something out of Jules Verne. Absolutely astounding. This is John Lyons in East Hampton, Long Island.
So this fantastically calm condition that we have at the moment is probably going to last for perhaps another 2 or 3 hours. There may be a little wind, but from the wrong direction, from the southeast. We want it from the southwest. Now, providing it's less than 5 miles an hour, we will be very happy to sit here and ride it out, because we want to get off to the northeast. I'm sure you can all appreciate that. We're interested only in getting across the Atlantic, and our best chance is to take off to the northeast. So please bear with us and just accept that we want to wait here for maybe 3 hours or so until the wind is right. So maybe you'd like to go have breakfast. I certainly would. I've been here all night.
Are you warm enough? No.
No, really.
I bet you're cold.
I'm not real warm at the moment. You're freezing, right? Everybody.
Where can we get some bacon and eggs from? Bring them in.
Everybody.
Come on in.
Get a bite.
Come on. Nutrition, he needs it.
There's no problem about the delay. We're just waiting for the perfect weather, which we've been expecting, Sunday. And so we're just waiting for it. There's, no problem at all. Everything's in our favor. We're just going to wait till it's perfect and take off, that's all.
I've already told Pam that you get there isn't any place for second place in this world.
All right.
And only the people that make the second effort, that force their heart and nerve and sinew to serve their turn long after they're gone, they're the only ones that get there. And failure comes cheap. Anybody can do that. And I don't want to see either one of you except over there.
Yeah, Loren broke down last night. We had to find out what was wrong with it. It was quite a pretty hard moment there at one time. It seemed that the pins were not making a good connection, so we just kept checking it over. We had a lot of trouble with the thing, and found it was a bad pin. Fixed it up. It was okay.
You like yours up?
The radio check was performed last night. All the equipment was done. It all checked out all right.
What did you think when Pam first told you about this whole idea?
Well, I thought it was a crazy idea, not necessarily, but up to now, I backed all my children if they had a crazy idea. After all, it wasn't so sensible when Johnny said, I'm going to go into the fried chicken business. That wasn't, everybody thought that was a silly idea.
That worked out pretty well.
It worked out darn well. And when Pam hit on this idea, I was her #1 prospect, and after I got in on the darn thing, as I said to her one day when the first one failed, or rather wrecked, that we're like, I think somewhere in, I believe it was in Hamlet, there's the expression, I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as arduous as to go o'er. I said, we're in this thing so deep, we might as well go to the other side. Getting back to our side is going to be just as arduous and just as hard as to go the rest of the way.
What we need is 3 balloons following a steady course in the direction we want to go. Now, we know we'll go in the direction we want to go, but we need the steady wind.
Right.
Now, if we don't get a steady wind, which is possible, we take a vertical ascension.
I see.
And we go up to 5,000 feet, and we know about the winds there. They're just dependable as all hell today. I mean, they're just shooting right off to Europe at about 25 knots. But we can't depend on an on and off wind, this light and variable kind of thing. If we get the surface steady wind, we'll go off at a that kind of wind.
Okay.
If we don't, it's straight up.
I see. A couple hundred feet a minute, maybe.
Just hold that, but don't do anything with it. Okay?
I got it.
Now don't pull any tighter, just hold it taut.
Malcolm's on the phone right now with meteorology.
Okay.
Hi, Vince. What's the latest? Yeah, we've just sent off a balloon just 2 minutes ago, and we had just slightly east of north. Yeah, that's what I expected. Good. So you think we ought to hold? Well, we could probably hold for another hour or so. You've got what? Fantastic. God, that's terrific. Gee, that's fantastic. Well, if we can possibly wait for those, I think we ought to.
Get up there. We're getting windy here, Bob.
Malcolm, what's the story? Well, that's the wrong direction. But it'll change. Vince Cadone says it'll change, so it'll change.
It seemed to me that probably in cases of tremendous danger, approaching death, let's say, that some kind of mechanism in the mind or even in the nervous system probably takes over, so that without actually thinking the steps through, the endangered person may act with a great deal of what you can only call, I think, physical intelligence.
Hey, Rod, I want a pirate ship. Beautiful, you look great. Oh, give me the camera. Hey, Rod.
Bob, what are those things? Are those patches there? Is it nylon?
When you have a crowd of 1,000 people who you care nothing about, and 1 or 2 people in that crowd who you do care about, the crowd there is bound to exert an influence on you, whoever you are. I think it always has done. If you look back at any of the heroic achievements that there have been, I'm quite certain that people took off before they reckoned they were really ready. For example, Lindbergh oughtn't he have waited a bit and waited until the rainstorm had stopped and had a greater chance of taking off on that muddy field when you're absolutely loaded up with fuel? Wouldn't it have been better to wait for a sunny day? The answer, I suppose, is always yes, but the answer is also that if you wait that long, that you will never take off for anything. The pressure is there, and I think sometimes the pressure does help to kill people.
The guy from life. The guy from life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What?
Please stand away from the gondola. Please back away from the gondola. Back away. Back away from the gondola. You're not directly involved.
I'm directly involved.
Look at the plane up there, huh?
What plane is that?
It's an amphibious plane. That must be quite a sight.
Yeah,
to
to be flying and see this thing out.
Suddenly see this big blip down here in the middle of the field. You know, a lot of these people have been here all night long.
Anderson, they really worked hard, and you have a project where you go hours and hours without sleep, and it comes to a time when you don't always make the right decision. And while the balloon had a hole in the side, and he tried to patch it, the patch didn't stay. So I can see how it was. When he got ready, the wind came right, he said, to hell with it, let's go.
Is anybody going to be in the helicopter?
Ron, you take care of yourself. Come on with me.
All of you kids, get out of the way. It doesn't
Hey, Clarence, let's go that way. We're going to rock here. Stay back. Stay back over there.
You can come down.
This way, this way. Okay. That's good, Peter. Peter! That's good. Where you are.
Everybody, please move back out of this area.
There they go.
Ronnie. Free one, too, yo.
Where's the other?
Let it go. Oh, yeah. Let it go. 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 People in this area, please move away. Give it to me, buddy. It's a call that you needed. You want that?
Get around this way.
Who gave it to you?
Where's Daddy? Bring him with you.
They were looking for glasses. Glasses. They were glasses. They were looking for before for their camera. Oh, they wanted to looking for the camera on top. Need for the camera on top. The camera up here when it came loose. You're supposed to carry this thing? No. They were looking for before to put that camera up there, but they got it. You can throw it out later, Rod.
You want to get a good shot when it goes off, you got to back up.
Sorry, what I forgot, please.
Hope that flying bridge don't get in the way out there.
Malcolm was a very, very level-headed man. He knew exactly what he was doing. I had no doubt. I mean, I would have gone with Malcolm on this flight. I trusted him that much. You know, if I had been prepared to go, I would have gone with Malcolm.
Everybody back. You said three, right?
No, everybody. First there's three, and then there's everybody. Then there's three, then there's everybody.
That's the guy's fault. Gonna roll?
Take care of him. I'm going to take care of him.
Well, Malcolm, the first time we met him, I asked him if he would like to have a bottle of beer, you know, because I like my beer, and I asked Malcolm if he wanted a beer. So Malcolm says, well, I don't really care for it. I tried to give him an elephant beer. He had never heard of an elephant beer, so I gave him an elephant beer. He drank it. He wanted more.
What do you figure like? I think I'm only about 10 pounds. I want to be about 40.
Everybody let go.
Too much. Hey, Alan, here's one.
Look at that thing.
There is something enormously attractive about ballooning. It's impossible practically to describe this beauty up there, this incredible stillness and the no wind thing, you know, is just incredible. It's the only way to hear the true noise of the sea, because on any other conditions you've got the wind blowing over your ears if you're standing on the beach, or you've got the noise of a boat or something around you, but up there with total silence around you, the noise of the sea is just coming up at you.